favorite brands, from candid chats with founders to insights from top marketers, e-com operators, and other people within D2C. So discover how they're building, scaling, and learning in this ever-evolving D2C landscape. And I'm super excited to introduce our amazing guest, Maria, today. Maria, would you share a little bit about who you are and a bit more about your brand?
Of course. So thank you so much for having me, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. I'm Maria, and I'm the founder of Pulse to Potential. We work closely with therapists and psychologists to create mental wellness tools. We started at the very end of 2023, so not that long ago. In terms of products, we started with our guided journals that had these therapy questions inside. But this year we've expanded on our product roadmap and added some other product categories as well, like our weighted animals that help with stress and anxiety. And yeah, our mission is to just make mental wellness tools more accessible for everyone.
Amazing. And how did Pulse of Potential come to life? Like, how did you come up with the inspiration for the brand?
Yeah, so Pulse Potential really started from my own struggles with high functioning anxiety and everything that comes with that, which can be a lot. For example, like negative self-talk, overthinking, and a lot of kind of symptoms that manifest physically as well. And it's funny because at the time, even though I kind of wanted to solve these problems for myself, I thought this is the worst time ever to actually start a brand and a business. But it's been super interesting journey coming into this industry as well, to see that actually a lot of founders do experience the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And with high functioning anxiety, it shows up like on the outside, you can seem like very collected and high achieving and very organized. But on the inside, it can be a very different story. And that's something that I've kind of went through myself as well. And that inspired me to, find solutions for that and create a brand around it.
And and obviously, I imagine you're a big user of all of your products. Like,
absolutely, 100%.
Like, when did you get that kind of moment where it stopped being, oh, I'm really struggling, and then it kind of turned into like, I need to come up with a solution for this? Was it that you couldn't really find something on the market, or what you found wasn't quite hitting like your needs? Like, what was that spark moment?
Yeah, so I tested a lot of different things myself. Therapy was super expensive at the time for me. And then on journaling, I've had so many good things about journaling on how it helps your mental health, but it was like super difficult to start. I had like blank page anxiety and things like that. I couldn't stick for it more than one time. And that kind of inspired me to create a solution for that, specifically when we started with the growth guided journal that has these ready-made questions and frameworks inside. But also, I'm not going to lie, I had a really big love for the industry as well to begin with. I actually started when I was 14, sell things online. I sold like handmade dog leashes and collars from my parents' garage. So it was kind of like I mentally, also as an outside high achiever, was looking for how can I bring these two together to kind of find solutions to what I'm struggling on, but also work on something that I'm really passionate about, which is e-commerce.
And I mean, we've met and kind of spoke about it, but you live in Finland, don't you? And there's not too much of like there's not a huge like e-commerce scene there, is there? So it must be like exciting for others around you to kind of see the success that you're having, and hopefully like be inspirational to other people wanting to start a business there as well.
Yeah, I definitely hope so too. Although I am still an anxious person, so leaving home and spreading information about myself is not my best quality. But yeah, that's absolutely true. And I hope that like I've seen this kind of trend of more entrepreneurship like all around through social media. Mm-hmm. So I hope that kind of catches on in Finland as where I do live, that people have the courage to try things, even though it feels something very overwhelming. I can say that it's super rewarding when you actually just do it and just try it, even though it feels scary. So yeah, I do hope that that's the effects I'll have in Finland as well.
Yeah. And how do you think that the brand has only been going for such like a short period, but you've seen such like explosive growth in that small period of time? Like, has the brand changed much since you initially launched in terms of like how you're speaking to your customers or who you thought your target person was? Like, how has that evolved in those couple of years?
Yeah, so definitely it's opened up to me how like big the mental health sphere overall is. Like so many people have so many different problems around mental wellness, and then we add on to the different avatars we can target. So it's a huge amount of people, and with all that kind of need different solutions to different problems. So it's been a matter of us kind of when we started with the journals to expand more into kind of a lifestyle brand. So for example, this year when we added in the weighted stuffed animals, it's funny right now, over 80% of our sales come through those. So it's like we're no longer a journal brand. We've expanded into something more. And that gives me so much excitement because that means we can expand onto so many different product categories as well, so many different areas of life that we can then help as many people as we can with kind of different solutions to what they need.
Yeah. And like you say, like mental wellness shouldn't feel like a luxury, and it shouldn't. And I think as a business owner, like there's a lot of like mental struggles and stress that kind of comes with part and parcel of running a business. Like, how are you building that into like your business model?
Yeah, so it's definitely always not easy because obviously we're still not a non-profit. So even though I really strongly feel like mental health tools should be like really affordable and something that doesn't feel like a luxury, like you said. But then again, it's more of a matter of how can we make this business actually work as efficiently as possible so we can continue doing what we do as long as possible. And then also we're always kind of looking to add free resources and donate to mental health organizations and kind of different price points within our products to make sure that like all people could really afford the tools that they need, and accessibility programs as well. So it's kind of like a combination of different things, and also listening to the market in terms of what it needs and how can we actually combine the values that we have with also building a business that obviously also has cold metrics that we need to follow.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a reason why you're in business as well. Like
Exactly.
You obviously want to help people, but you've got to have those like metrics there that you guys are, measuring success on.
Yeah.
And you mentioned then that you like collaborate with like content and resources that you provide in, and you work with mental health professionals on helping generate that. How are you balancing like the clinical credibility whilst making sure that you're keeping things like human, warm, like relatable?
Yeah, so I think the problem sometimes, especially with social media nowadays, is that there's kind of a spectrum of like mental health products and information online. Like there's the oversimplified side where it's like the TikTok therapy, self-diagnosis, and then there's the other side of something being super clinical. And I've read a lot of the clinical research as well, and I still have to Google a lot of the words. So I think it's made really not usable, not understandable for I don't know what reason. So kind of our goal from the beginning has been to start from a user point of view on terms of what the user would actually need and what is as easy to understand as possible, but then also have that scientifically backed side of it where the frameworks that we use actually work. So that's why we wanted to include the experts as well. But then we also like always start from the user point of view to make sure that it stays like human and warm. And also on our messaging as well, we not only use experts on our ads and social media, we actually want most of them to come from like the user point of view, and just bring out that raw side of mental wellness and mental health, of like having that messaging that really resonates on a deeply emotional level, where they're actually like, oh, this is exactly what I'm going through, and it feels like I'm being heard and I'm being understood. And that's always our goal, above like also collaborating with the experts in the industry.
Yeah. And when you're like going through like the product kind of creation point of view now, like how are you like drawing inspiration on like what's coming next? Like, have you roadmapped out like what the next however long looks like in terms of the products that you want to launch? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we now do have a product roadmap. I've evolved in that way to be organized, because this is evolving into something big. So we definitely wanna keep everything planned in advance. But I think I would really want to say that I just have this amazing mind that comes up with all of these ideas. But I think it's more boring of actually looking at what the market needs, market metrics, trend analysis, customer feedback and customer surveys, and just combining all of that information and then coming up with the next idea that actually we can predict would have a good product market fit.
Yeah, did you expect like the weighted stuffed animals to kind of like overtake the journals when you first launched them, or?
Well, I was really excited to see the trend analysis on those, because I could see that they have more demand than the journals itself. Also, our main goal with those was to also increase our AOV, which we were able to double, which is amazing. But it's always still kind of like a little bit nerve-wracking to launch something new. And it's always kind of like, even though you've done the research and you're pretty sure it'll work on the market, it's still always a bit of a surprise on how it actually goes. But I was really over the moon on the results we've gotten on these, and even the demand. Like, I knew it would come like towards the end of the year, Q4, but it caught up much earlier, which is interesting to me. So yeah, it's been really amazing.
I mean, seeing as though you touched on Q4, I think it's only natural to talk about it. Do you guys go through like peaks in terms of sales? Like, are you participating in Black Friday? Is that a big deal for you guys?
Yeah, that's definitely still big for us. But also, I would say New Year is a key selling point for us as well. I feel like people kind of want to start fresh in terms of their mental health as well. So they're always looking for tools during that time, especially journals. But now it'll be interesting to see with our other products as well. But yeah, it's definitely keeping me super busy, because we have a lot of key selling points coming up. And it's not only Q4 that is important. Like I said, it continues on like after Christmas and then on to January, which is really exciting that we have so many like activation points that we can utilize within the brand.
Yeah. And you've grown like the business like 3x, haven't you, since you've started? Like, it's amazing. Like, what do you think's been like a key driver for that? Was it the products? Was it like the channel strategy? Like, what kind of kickstarted things moving?
Yeah, so for this year, we will grown like 400% since last year, which I think is mainly because of the new products. But overall, as a brand, I think like meta creative strategy has always been our key driver, and just kind of bringing on more customer personas that we can target. There's more variety on our content as well, and just a combination of that, and then also adding on more creative volume has given us a really good boost. And I think it's also like amazing with paid ads as well, is that the scale is quite stable, so it's something that is sustainable for us as well, which is a key point for us to always keep things also profitable and as stable as we can, because we don't have any outside funders. So that has been always key for us. But I think it's a combination of that creative strategy and building a really solid team around it, and then also the expansion of what the brand actually is and the products that we do.
Yeah. And what other channels have you explored, like TikTok, and have you worked into that channel anymore?
Actually, TikTok is not something that has provided very strong results for us. I think like right now we're doing mainly Meta and then also Google. So those are obviously two of the paid channels that are providing most results for us. I think TikTok could be something for us in the future, but I also think it's a really amazing place for low AOV items, especially with TikTok Shop. So I'm not 100% sure it will evolve into something we can fully be comfortable in. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that platform just explode as well.
Yeah. How has like influencers worked for you guys? Do you do like gifting? Like what does that strategy look like?
Yeah, so we do influencer seeding. Obviously, not having like huge budget yet is something that we haven't done like immense collaborations with really big influencers. But I think with influencer strategy overall, it's kind of like long-term building blocks that we're doing. So doing that seeding and just starting to build relationships, especially when we're such a new brand and we didn't start to work with kind of like our influencer strategy until end of last year, really. We're starting to now have like some strong relationships that post over and over again. And I think the goal for us in the next 5 years is to have like a machine system on working on that, where we have multiple of those strong relationships that just keep on, providing for us, but then also like having that meaningful relationship with them, especially being a mental wellness brand, is really important to me. So building a community not only of customers but also for influencers is something that we're working on.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it quite a lot with like multiple brands that are all at kind of like different stages, some that are similar size to you guys in like the early days, some that have been going, for 10, 15 years, and influencers is like a huge part of their strategy. And I think everyone always mentions it's around like the consistency. You've got to really have that deep strategy in there. You've got to be consistent. You've got to build those relationships. You've got to trial and test so many different ones to find like the right fit for the brand as well. But it's a big chunky job, isn't it? It's not something that you can just dip in and out of, but I think it can be so powerful when you get it right.
For sure. I think overall, like just growing a business is all about the systems and just showing up. So I think that relates to very much on the influencer strategy side as well. So you always have to think like really long term and have the long term vision in mind. And then like new opportunities and new relationships starts open up when you're thinking about the long term impact, not only the short term results.
Yeah. And you're selling Calm, aren't you? Which is a little bit funny because I've not found e-commerce to be a totally calm industry. It's very fun, but I don't know if calm is the right word to describe it. But how are you handling things like urgency and those conversion tactics? And you really do want to keep that brand tone of voice consistent throughout.
Yeah, it's super funny actually, because we do all of those tactics on our website, like urgency, bundling, things like that. And that's resulted us having a really high conversion rate compared to the industry average. But I think it's a matter of looking at the customer journey as a whole. It's what messaging we do beforehand, what we do on emails after, and just having a look at the journey as a whole. But then also, I think there's a lot of wellness brands in the industry who have this certain type of aesthetic of like everything being perfect, when in reality, when you're struggling with your mental health and or want to improve your mental wellness, it's not pretty always. It's not perfection, or you feel stressed, you have days that are not great, and I think if the brand image overall tries to be an image of perfection, it can actually make the customer feel worse, because it can make them feel like they're failing at being calm. So I think there's not one kind of kind of words or image to describe calmness. I think it's very different for everyone. And I think it's more of us, like more important for us to be authentic and something really relatable so customers can feel like heard and understood rather than trying to be something that they don't really relate to at the moment.
Yeah. And has anything surprised you like most about building a business from like the ground up?
Yeah, so a lot of things for sure, a lot of things, new things for me. But I think what has surprised me the most is just how much building a business is also related to your mental side, your thinking, your beliefs. For me specifically, working on this journey, like alongside the business on my mental health as well, it's been so interesting to see the shifts that I've been having on my own mental mindset as well. That has really unlocked new growth for the business. And when you're starting out, it feels like those two are not connected at all, but they actually are on a very deep level. And I think right now with all the hustle culture, social media going out there, I feel like a lot of people are just grinding it out and just working as hard as they possibly can. But for me, what really unlocked the growth for our business is trying to actually lift my head from the daily grind and just try and see the bigger vision. And then kind of new things opened up that I wouldn't have maybe done if I was all in that my struggling mindset, if that makes sense. So that has really surprised me, like not only like seeing the change in our customers, but also in myself. That has really, made the business a super important thing for me as well.
Yeah. And how do you take care of like your own like mental health, like as a founder and as someone that's, growing a really successful business that must come with challenges on the daily, no doubt.
Yeah.
How do you really have you got any tips on how people can look after themselves?
Obviously, probably not the first person to answer this, because obviously I have really hard days as well. But I think overall, it's funny, my co-founder Nicholas as well, he's really calm and a collected person, whereas I'm really anxious and stressed most of the time. He's really thought a lot on like the 80-20 rule as well. So for me, to take care of my mental health, I really have to prioritize what I'm taking on, because if you're trying to do everything at once, my brain just goes haywire. It really can't handle it. And it also creates these imagined deadlines for things that I'm in a hurry when I'm actually not. So it's kind of recognizing those things and writing things down of what I'm doing, and then actually thinking about, are these essential for the business? Are they growth drivers? Are they something that I should be working on? Because sometimes, like, especially in the beginning, I noticed that I was working on a lot of things just because I wanted to feel productive. Because if I didn't feel productive, I felt like that equaled I'm failing, or that equaled that I'm not doing enough. So kind of like also exploring those beliefs that I had onto why I was trying so hard and that still things like weren't working out in terms of compared to now, when I kind of feel much more relaxed and just more in control of the business as well.
Yeah, that part really resonated with me, because I think the exact same. If I'm not at like 110% capacity at all times, I feel like I'm not actually doing as much as what I should be doing, and I'm failing, and I'm not working as hard as what I should do. And I think you have to take those times to step back a little bit sometimes and look at the bigger picture, and stop working in the business so much so that you can really see what's going on around it. Do you think that or how do you think that founders can be more honest around like their mental health without it feeling performative?
I think it's amazing that a lot more founders are coming forward with kind of like also their not good days and their struggles as well. And I think it's always really amazing to have that conversation around it. But I think overall, if I were to give someone a tip, it would be more like discovering the beliefs on why sharing that. Like, because also if you just want to share it just because you want to be seen as relatable, that can be more performative than rather than like actually authentic. And for me specifically, that's not even a point where I've really gotten into, because I feel like it feels really odd if I'm crying and I'm having the worst day ever to just, my first instinct is definitely not taking up my phone and filming myself. Some people it might be, and there's nothing bad about it, but I think it's like listening to yourself as well and thinking about when it feels authentic rather than just for performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And what feels like exciting to you right now about where Pulse of Potential is heading? Like, where's it going? Like, what's next?
Oh, a lot of things. Definitely our goal is to actually become a household name in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think if we keep on expanding on the lifestyle field and the impact that we are having, that is just so exciting for me. And just all the things that we have in the pipeline, which I'm not going to reveal all of them just yet, just get me out of bed so excited, because also just looking at the customers that we have and also our team that we've built for this brand, it's just so exciting to see that passion around it. And yeah, it's hard not to be excited, I would say that way.
Yeah. And what are you most proud of?
Oh, definitely the customer stories, just seeing the reviews and the stories that people tell us and just sending us emails. I think that's really the most amazing thing that I love seeing every day. But also, like I mentioned, our team just being super passionate about our brand and our mission. It's something I kind of never expected as an anxious individual who first started the business on their own. So it's something that has really been just so amazing for me to see as well, that a lot of other people are passionate about this as well. That's something that I built from my bedroom. And it's just so crazy to think about that nowadays.
And what kind of impact are you hoping that the brand continues to have as you grow and you expand?
Oh, I definitely still working on the mental wellness, making it more accessible. But also I think I would love for Pulse of Potential to really have an impact on the culture around mental health, and just that mental health and mental wellness doesn't need to look a certain way, and taking care of it doesn't need to look a certain way. And also that it doesn't have to be, because I think one of the biggest misconceptions with mental health is that people think that you have to have a diagnosis for it to matter. Because actually a lot of people out there in the middle of like showing up, being even thriving on paper, but then at the same time being anxious and emotionally spread really thin. And that's still mental health. So I think if we only make space for people who are in crisis, we kind of miss those people who kind of we could prevent that beforehand. So I really think Pulse of Potential, I want to reflect that you should take care of your mental wellness as you take care of your physical health, to prevent getting into that crisis mode.
Yeah, no, I think that's so important. And I think like the more you can like spread the word about that, it's only going to help improve people's lives. But thank you so much. That was really lovely. It was really insightful. And where can people like learn more or find out about you?
Oh, definitely on the pulseofpotential.com website, and then also Pulse of Potential Instagram. They have videos about me as well. But then also you can find me on LinkedIn if you want to send a message. But yeah, thank you so much, Rebecca, for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we'll speak soon.
Yeah, speak soon.